Yes, ma'am, it is on.
Offer and acceptance, no?
Yes,
Day
ma'am.
before yesterday,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
Yes.
discussed.
We're supposed to start new topic.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Revocation of
See, from like almost a second going to come to the topic. We started with the introduction of Contract Act and what are the essentials of a valid contract, what are the different types of contracts, offer, different types of offer, what are the essentials of a valid offer, then what is the meaning of acceptance, and how many types of what are the conditions or we can call rules to be followed for the purpose of giving acceptance by the offering. The person who is making an offer is called offerer, the person who gives acceptance is called offering. So we have done with the conditions relating to offer and acceptance and different types of offer. Till there we have done. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Are you able to hear my voice?
Yeah, it is
Little bit
audible.
low, ma'am.
Huh?
Little bit low.
You are audible, ma'am.
As usual, lot of disturbance.
So I just repeated the topics which we have done and not yet started any new topic. What we have done, that is what are the different topics which we have discussed related to the Contract Act 1 and what are the essentials of valid contract section 10, different types of offer. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please list out me what are the essentials that we have discussed relating to the acceptance in our previous class?
Yes, I can, ma'am.
What are the essentials, or we can call them as the conditions to be valid acceptance? What are the
Yeah.
conditions?
Yeah, essentials of valid acceptance are acceptance must be absolute, unconditional, and unqualified. Acceptance must be communicated with the offerer. Acceptance must be in prescribed mode and prescribed manner. Offerer can prescribe the mode of acceptance but cannot prescribe the mode of rejection. Neither offerer
But he
can
cannot-
make any assumptions on behalf of the offeree if there is no response.
Okay, that's it. Many are there. Any one of like others?
Acceptance can be expressed or implied. Mental acceptance is not an acceptance.
No, those are offers, I think.
Acceptance? Where is Savitri, madam? Parvati, Savitri?
Ma'am, you are asking about essentials of valid acceptance, right?
Acceptance only. That is what our last class, right?
Yeah, that is what I'm telling.
Unconditional, madam.
Acceptance can be expressed or
Unconditional, communicated.
We have few more, madam. I
Let's
can
say
go through.
unconditional, unqualified. We
We
discussed
have few
many.
more, madam.
Many,
Yeah, yeah.
many we
We have
discussed.
few more. We can go through. An offer once rejected cannot be accepted until it is
You will
offered by
get
the
information
offerer.
from Google also. Like once we have discussed, you can take the notes from the Google, or otherwise you can come to the college to collect the books. Notes you have to like prepare from your side. You will get many in the group you are posting many videos.
Madam, college will be giving books. That part we were not knowing.
College will give. You can come to the college.
Sure, ma'am,
collect
we
the
will
books
come.
from
Without ID cards also, are they ready to give, ma'am?
You didn't get ID card. Oh, cha, you are first years now, so you have to wait for some days.
Yeah,
But
first year.
meanwhile, from Google, whatever the information that I'm giving, it's not like whether it's a textbooks or Google, the information will be same. Now, contract will be the contract. Contract act only. If you study wherever it may be, the sentence may be that little bit difference, but essentials will not change. Sometimes you'll get extra some to learn, new points you'll get to learn.
Yeah.
So don't leave once after the class is finished. Don't wait for my notes. I don't believe in like sending the notes, attaching the notes. I believe only in the concept. If you understand the concept, if you go through somewhere from wherever you go through, you have to study by yourself. It's not like that. Not explaining properly and sending the notes. I don't believe in such kind of practices. I believe only in concept, making the subject to be understandable.
Madam, an action with the knowledge of the proposal offer is not action.
Chappan, madam.
An action without the knowledge of proposal or offer is not acceptance.
Hmm.
Acceptance must be before the lapse of time or withdrawal.
Hmm.
Mental acceptance is not
చెప్పండి మేడం.
mental acceptance is not acceptance while the
Exactly.
offer is subsisting. While the offer is subsisting,
In case of
the
a specific offer, the person has to give the communication to the offerer. Yes or no?
Yes, madam.
In case of general
Yes.
offer, it's not required that the person has to come and give the acceptance. If he do what is going to be prescribed by the offerer in the general offer, that itself is nothing but an acceptance. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, madam. Madam, one more point, madam.
So-
While the offer is subsisting, the acceptance should be made while the offer is still subsisting, madam.
Yes. So within the time or before the offer is going to be revoked, this person has to give the acceptance. This is what, and mental acceptance is not considered as an acceptance. Almost on 9 points we have done, I think.
Madam, one more point, legal consequences, madam.
From your side, some noise is there, Parvati ma'am. Just correct it.
Room only. No, madam.
We are not able to hear you.
Ayyo. One more point, madam, legal consequences.
Okay?
Legal consequences, madam.
I am able to. You lost your network connection. Sir, network going, sir. Able to hear me? My voice is clear to you?
Madam, now it is clear, madam. Sorry, madam. Madam, now it is clear.
already something
Computer 10 million language कुछ issue है.
ग्रैंड कुछ प्राइस है कहीं नहीं है
Computer 10 में कुछ issue है.
बाहर से नहीं है
एक बार नाम के लिए.
तो मतलब एक कंप्यूटर पे चल रहा है एक पे नहीं चल रहा
यहाँ पे भी नहीं चल रहा है।
हाँ स्क्रीन नहीं आ रही स्पीड स्पीड नहीं
Speed नहीं आ रहा.
देख रहे हो उधर से देख रहे
Madam.
Is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice
Yes,
is
madam.
audible, madam. But Parvati,
Voice is audible, but there is some noise in the background.
See, wait. Some network issue is there. Sir is coming to check the network issue. Just 2-3 minutes, okay?
Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. It is
Madam,
audible
it is
to us.
Audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Voice is clear.
Yeah, madam.
Yeah, my voice is clear. You are able to hear now?
Yes, ma'am.
But is a problem? If you are able to hear, okay, you are able to hear me.
Ma'am,
I'll continue.
I think for
Otherwise,
now
I'll
it
send
is
you
good,
another
ma'am.
link.
For now it is good. We can continue here now.
Hear you clearly now.
Okay, so we are able to hear me? No problem. Okay, let's take the class. If any problem is there, immediately send me a message, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
ma'am.
If you are not able to hear me, send me a message. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the. See, I'm telling, I'm checking the messages also. If you have any problem, just immediately send me a message. Just stop the class and take the from other link. Otherwise, it's like I'll keep on going and you people will not hear the class. Means Parvati, what happened? She left the class. She left the meeting.
It might be network issue from her end also, ma'am.
Okay, maybe. So today we are going the topic which I'm going to discuss today is relating to communication of offer and acceptance and revocation of offer and acceptance. It's very important chapters. Okay, it's like the end of the year second unit, communication of offer and acceptance and revocation of offer and acceptance. So section 4 is talking about the communication of offer and acceptance, and section 5 is talking about the revocation of offer and acceptance. So what is the meaning of this communication of offer and acceptance? Why do we need to study means? It's very important because see, if the parties are directly meeting each other, my friend is sitting beside of me. I told her that I want to sell my second hand bike to you, and the cost of bike is 10,000 rupees. So she's sitting like beside of me, adjacent to me. I made an offer to her. So here what happens, the communication, there is no problem of communication when two parties are able to see them together, like the parties can directly make an offer and the other party, it's physically present, they can see both of them. It's not an issue with the communication, there is no question of easily the matter can be communicated and acceptance can also be given easily, then the problem will not arise. So, but when the parties are at distance, when the parties cannot see each other, then only the problem of communication will arise. So, relating to this communication of offer, mainly when the parties are not seeing each other or when the parties cannot meet together at the time when offer is made, at the same when acceptance is given. So, this communication of offer and acceptance is very important. So why we need to study means, see, when you will understand when when the offer is said to be communicated or when the acceptance is said to be communicated, then only basing on that only you will be able to understand what is the meaning of revocation and when the offer and acceptance can be cancelled by the parties. So they need to give the ample of time. So what is the time period, what is the time period when the offer of communication is said to be completed and when the offer when the acceptance is said to be communicated? This is first we will discuss that. I'll give you examples because don't get confused. It's it's a little bit tough compared to the other like offer and acceptance we have done, conditions we have seen. They're very easy to understand. If you understand communication section for properly, the both the offer and acceptance, then only you can understand revocation of offer and acceptance. If you understand this, then only you can understand the revocation. That you will get easily. So listen it properly and carefully. Able to hear my voice now, all of you?
Yeah, madam.
We can.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So as I told you, section 4 is talking about the communication of offer and acceptance. So what the section 4, first we will discuss about the communication of offer. Communication of offer when it is said to be completed. Communication of offer when it is said to be completed. Say Mr. A gave an offer to Mr. B that he want to sell his house for 30 lakhs. He want to sell his house for 30 lakhs. So the act is telling that when the offer is said to be completed, offer is said to be completed, then it will come into the knowledge of the offering. So when we have discussed about the essentials of a valid offer, what I told you, if any person has taken the decision to make an offer to the offering, so what he has to do, he should not keep the offer by himself in his mind. If he is going to keep, that is not said to be a valid offer. First of all, he has to make an offer with an intention to get the assent of the other party. That is one of the condition which we have stated. So the offer and intention is to get what? The offer and intention is to get the acceptance of the other party. So unless you are going to send your information to the other party cannot give the acceptance. So the act is clearly telling that offer is said to be completed, offer is said to be communicated. Listen the words properly. Offer is said to be communicated, offer, communication is said to be over, communication is said to be completed when the offer will come to the knowledge of the offeree. When the offer will come to the knowledge of the offeree, then only the communication of offer is said to be completed. What is said to be completed? Communication of the offer is said to be completed when it will come to the knowledge of the offering. Clear? Mr. A, actually, so I'll take the example. Throughout, we'll take same example to explain you the each and every situation. So Mr. A is residing in in Hyderabad, and Mr. B is residing in Bangalore. You think? So Mr. A wrote a letter to Mr. B. Mr. A wrote a letter to Mr. B that he want to sell his property for 50 lakhs rupees. As I told you, this is what the case which I am taking to discuss about the rules relating to communication of offer. So after writing a letter, when Mr. B will get the letter, when Mr. B will get the letter and he will open the letter, he receives the letter, he open the letter, he will read what is the content of the letter. Then only that time the offer is said to be completed. Clear? So what is the time? When it will come to the knowledge of the offering. Okay? Hello, what happened?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Okay. So when the offer is said to be completed, can you please repeat what I have said?
when the offer comes to the knowledge of the offeree, then we can say communication is complete.
When communication is not completed, when communication of offer is said to be completed, communication of offer,
Yeah.
when it is said to be completed,
When the offer comes to the knowledge of the offeree.
Knowledge of the offer.
when offer comes to the knowledge of the offeree, very good. When it comes to the knowledge of the offeree, the offer is said to be completed. So okay, offer is over. Next come to the next comes to the acceptance. See, offer only one thing we have stated. Offer is said to be completed, or communication of offer is said to be completed when it will come to the knowledge of the offeree. That's it. But when it comes to the acceptance, acceptance is said to be completed. See here, they made two separate things. They said that acceptance is said to be completed against the proposer and against the offerer and offeree. Acceptance is said to be completed. Acceptance is said to be completed not only against the offering, it is said to be completed against the two parties, against the offerer as well as the offering. So what I'll explain you with the help of an example. Then I'll explain you the concept. Okay, so first we'll take what I said. Acceptance is said to be completed against the offerer. Against the offerer. So who is the offerer here? Mr. A is the offerer. Yes or no? Mr. A is the offerer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. A is the offerer.
And Mr. B is offering. So acceptance, offer is only from one side, only from Mr. A side we have studied, and that is over. But acceptance, when it comes to the offer, section 4 is clearly telling acceptance is said to be completed both from, we have to check from both the parties. So first we'll check when the acceptance is said to be completed from the proposer side, Mr. A side. So the act is clearly telling that offer acceptance is said to be completed. Acceptance is said to be completed as against the proposer, when it will put into the transmission, when it will put into the transmission mode. That's it. So what is the meaning of that one? See, Mr. A told to Mr. B that he want to sell his house for 10 lakhs rupees, for 30 lakhs rupees. Take the same case. So offer is over. Then Mr. B receives the Mr. B receives the letter, and he opened the letter and he gone through the offer. Okay, offer is over. Now acceptance, when Mr. B decided that he wants to purchase the property for 50 lakh rupees. So again he prescribed the mode of to send a letter. I told him offerer has a choice. He can prescribe the mode in which form the acceptance can be given. So here what happens, Mr. B wrote a letter and he posted the letter. Remember, he posted the letter. Be clear with the examples, because even the 100 times we studied, this concept is very tricky that we can't understand. It's very if someone will ask you directly, even how many times you will study, you will get confused relating to the communication of offer is easy, but communication of acceptance is not that easy. So from the proposer side, we are discussing communication of acceptance against the proposer. So Mr. B wrote a letter and he posted the letter. That's it. He posted the letter. So the law is telling, the Contract Act is telling, the communication of acceptance is completed. Against the proposer. Means for the proposer, acceptance is over. Acceptance means proposer has to assume that Mr. B gave the acceptance. So when the acceptance is put into the transmission mode, when the acceptance is put into the transmission mode, the acceptance is said to be completed from the proposer's side, Mr. A side. So when he posted the letter, acceptance is over. Against whose side? Against Mr. A side, the acceptance is over. So the question comes that whether if the letter is going to be misplaced during the transmission, if it's going to be misplaced, whether the acceptance is over. A's point of view, the acceptance is over. If he does not receive the letter also, from B's point of view, he gave the acceptance. It is completed. From A's side, B gave the acceptance. When he posted the letter, when he put the letter into the post box, the offer is said, the acceptance is said to be completed. Okay. So now the question arises: if it is misplaced, means if the Mr. B write the correct address.
Yes, madam.
Okay, so you
Okay.
lost the connection in between.
Okay.
Connected. అది పోతుంది, అది అంటే డిస్కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది, మళ్ళీ కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది ఆటోమేటిక్గా. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు పోజ్ కదా.
Okay.
ఓకే, సో ఆర్ యూ ఏబుల్ టు హియర్ మీ?
Yeah, ma'am.
హలో.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so what we are discussing, acceptance as against the proposal we are discussing. So what I said, when Mr. B gave his acceptance and he posted a letter, it is said to be completed. The acceptance is said to be completed from the proposer side. It is said to be completed. So Mr. A cannot
Again lost your
Not
voice,
audible
ma'am.
again, ma'am.